Okay, welcome everybody to Legal Organic Skincare's webinar, Sensitive Skin, Symptoms, Causes, and Treatment. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jessica Heron, National Educator with Legal Organic Skincare and Pure Spa Organics. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we're going to go over the topics of discussion for today's webinar. Generally, of course, we're talking about sensitive skin. So we are going to learn about forms of skin sensitivity, also the symptoms of the main forms of skin sensitivity and how to identify and differentiate between the different forms of sensitive skin. Also causes of the main forms of skin sensitivity. What are some of the triggers that cause sensitive skin? Common treatments for the skin sensitivity. Some of the treatments that are common today, medicinal and also topical cosmetically as well to help subside some of these symptoms of skin sensitivity. Solutions for sensitive skin from Alico Organic Skincare specifically. Also, targeting our ultra-sensitive system for sensitive skin from Alico Organic Skincare, and also learning about their key ingredients and how they work. We're also going to learn about the ultra-sensitive system products and each product and go over features and benefits and key ingredients of the ultra-sensitive system products. But we're also going to learn a little bit more about some additional Alico Organic Skincare products that you can address with forms of skin sensitivity that are not particularly the ultra-sensitive system, but these are additional products that would be recommended and suggested to use as well for sensitive skin conditions. And then we'll be doing a live demonstration of ultra-sensitive system facial treatment that features those core products in the ultra-sensitive system line. So just to give you a little statistic, US statistics show that 40% of clients have some form of skin sensitivity. And actually, according to the Dermatologists Association, it's actually about half, 50% of clients have some type of form of skin sensitivity, which is actually quite high out there. And, that means there's a lot of potential to utilize sensitive skin treatments in your facials and have the products available for clients that come in with sensitive skin. So what are the forms of skin sensitivity? The main forms of skin sensitivity, I think the most popular that we typically tend to see come through our door would be, of course, acne. And millions of Americans are plagued with, this disorder. And there are different symptoms and different causes and other, different types of acne out there as well. And knowing how to identify between what type of acne you will be able to select the proper treatment. I think the treatments that we're going to share with you today, of course, will be perfect solutions for these type of clients. Also, rosacea is another type of skin sensitivity and disorder, and about 16 million Americans are plagued by this disorder. So you're going to see quite a few of this type of client coming through the door. There are also different forms of rosacea, classified in 4 different subtypes, and we'll talk a little bit about the different types of rosacea and some of those symptoms to look out for. Also, burning and stinging. Sometimes the cause is unknown, but we'll also be talking about what those symptoms look like. A lot of times it is a reaction to a chemical or an ingredient that somebody may have a sensitivity to. And contact dermatitis. This is also something where it could be someone coming into contact with a chemical or an allergic reaction, most likely, is the most common cause when there's an allergy to an ingredient or a substance, and it causes inflammation and rashing and intense itching. Also, atopic dermatitis, which is known as eczema, which is a hereditary predisposed disorder, and there are different symptoms to look out for. This is something that can happen all over the face and body. It can happen in infants and also in adults as well. You have also then psoriasis or plaque psoriasis, an autoimmune disorder that's also connected to hereditary or genetic predisposed people who really don't have any choice if this is going to happen to them or not, of course. And with most of these conditions, there really isn't any cure, but there definitely is treatments, and we can find solutions to help these clients that are going through some of these kind of deformic disorders, especially with acne and rosacea. So people become sort of, very embarrassed by some of these symptoms, and we need to find solutions in order to properly treat them and also trust you and make them feel comfortable with what we're doing. So we're going to learn a little bit about these forms of skin sensitivities and what are the solutions. So let's talk a little bit about acne. Some of the causes of acne, of course, are oily skin, overactive sebaceous glands, and a high level of bacteria in the skin. We know that bacteria causes, the acne bacteria, causes symptoms like pimples and pustules and blackheads and comedones and also melia, whiteheads, and to form because of the overactive sebaceous gland activity. Some other causes could be hormonal imbalances in adolescents and also adult acne. Stress is also another trigger, which releases a hormone that can cause acne and overactive levels of sebaceous activity as well. And what happens, and some of the symptoms that you can look for, are oily or dry acne conditions, which are considered to be seborrheic, or also inflammation is associated with the seborrhea. Comedones, clogged pores, whiteheads, blackheads, papules, pustules, and nodules that are cystic, especially nodules and cysts, become inflamed and irritated and can be very deforming to the physical appearance. And then people become, very embarrassed by them as well. And there are solutions in the Alike product line that we can actually address, helping to clear some of the acne symptoms. Redness is associated also with these symptoms as well, inflammation, and that also can become painful. Scarring is something that is also associated with acne. You can see an image of it here in the top right-hand corner. You see some raised scarring, and then you also can see the tit indented scarring as well. So this patient actually has had a little of both of the type of scarring that can happen post-acne, and then also the active acne you can see here where there is still some cystic and nodule activity causing redness and inflammation. Mostly can happen on the face, of course, or the upper part of the body, like the chest and the back. And these treatments that we're going to introduce can be also introduced into the body. Alike organic skincare products are multifunctional. So you can cross our products over into different areas of the body and the face. So they're very user-friendly in that way. The treatment options are anti-inflammatory products and ingredients that help to soothe and calm the skin, and also antibacterial ingredients as well to help cut that bacteria that causes signs of acne and slow oil production down as well. Other treatments can also include peels to help exfoliate the dead layers of skin that are actually clogging the pores. That clogged pores, oil, and also dead skin cells. So an exfoliation treatment is important, but also combining anti-inflammatories with those kind of products as well. All right, so let's talk about rosacea. Rosacea, the causes of rosacea are not completely known, but there are theories of it that can explain it. Scientifically, genetics, hereditary predisposed position to be to have it already in your gene makeup. Also, skin mites can also be a cause of rosacea. Bacteria, sun exposure side effects, vascular instability, also the excessive yeast in the body or on the skin, and also to go and elaborate a little bit more about the skin mite. The presence of skin mites, they feed on the oil in the skin or in the oil glands, and the heat could be a trigger as well. Heat in external climate and also in the body as well. And this makes the skin mite more active, resulting in, a little bit more pain, redness, and irritation as well. And also the bacteria, presence of intestinal bacteria associated with, say, like ulcers that are internal can also be a cause. And the search for the cause of rosacea still continues till this day. Because we really don't have any scientific evidence or proof that these are actually, they're still working on, like, these are some of the ideas and causes that we know can also irritate, the sensitivity that the skin is already predisposed to. But they actually have had some research that shows some of the bacteria in skin mites aggravates the rosacea. And you also have triggering factors like foods, other types of drugs or cosmetic ingredients, alcohol, the sun, of course, heat and humidity, wind and harsh conditions, and also, buildup of stress in the life, and also exercise, because exercise increases circulation and also triggers the body to sweat and produces heat. So that's definitely a trigger. So some of the stages and symptoms of rosacea are classified as flushes or redness on the cheeks, around the nose, the chin, or the forehead, with small visible blood vessels. This is subtype 1. So where you see more of the dilated blood vessels around the cheeks, the nose, and the chin, and also some of that redness associated with it. It looks more like reddened skin, but as you look up closer, you'll see the tiny little dilated blood vessels. Pimples or bumps on the face, more of a papular rosacea or an acne rosacea associated with acne, is subtype number 2. So you'll see the pattern of the redness around the cheeks and the nose and the chin, but then you'll also notice some whiteheads or pimples or bumps on the face as well, which is another type of acne rosacea and is considered more of a papular acne subtype 2. Skin thickening, which is more of a sebaceous rosacea subtype 3. And this is where you can see some of the largening of the structures of the facial area, like the ears and the nose especially. This is subtype 3. And redness, of course, and inflammation is definitely visible and associated as well. Watery or irritated eyes, ocular rosacea, subtype 4, where the rosacea is actually in the ocular area, looking very reddened. A lot of the dilated blood vessels are permanent in the white area of the eye, and that you can associate as well with this condition, which would be subtype 4 rosacea. Starts to develop in the 30s or later, typically, is where we're seeing most of the kind of clients with rosacea in that age group. Some of the treatment options that are available, of course, there is no cure, and there is no cure for acne as well, only control and being able to treat and control the condition. Some of those include anti-inflammatory, anti-redness, and non-irritating ingredients. Laser or light therapy can be very effective in helping to reduce the dilated blood vessels and reduce the rosacea symptoms and the inflammation. Also, topical or oral antibiotics are also usually prescribed. Some of these topical medications are used to treat yeast and can be anti-yeast as well, so that'll help to control. And also anti-inflammatory prescription antibiotics are usually used too, as well, like retinols or retinoids. Rosacea, I'm sorry, I'm actually not retinoids, I'm thinking of the dermatitis that we're going to talk about later. But rosacea affects over 16 million Americans, and most of them don't even know it. So a lot of people come in thinking, knowing they have sensitive skin, but they're not really sure exactly what it is. Our job is to be able to identify the symptoms and to prescribe the best treatments. But if we are not sure if it's rosacea, because as estheticians, we're not really licensed to make that diagnosis, refer them to a physician. This is a medical condition, and I would recommend working side by side with a dermatologist to effectively help to treat the rosacea in the skin. And I think the same goes for acne conditions as well. Pairing up with a dermatologist that is in support of maybe doing your organic treatments as well, and trying to come up with the best solutions for that client. And also knowing, too, what type of medications that they may be taking if they have been to the doctor and have been prescribed by these with these conditions and disorders. So you know best how to further prescribe a treatment, because you don't want to use anything that contraindicates the treatments that they're already doing with their physicians. Burning or stinging. So burning and stinging, some of the causes are over-treated skin, such as, chemical peels, chemical acids, strong chemical peeling that sensitize the skin. The skin also becomes photosensitive at that time, can really cause some really irritated inflammation and itching in the skin, and drying and flaking as well. Over-dried skin, such as wind or extreme weather conditions, exposed to too much sun or too much wind, or too much cold too, where the skin becomes very stingy and itchy and red. Over sun exposure, of course, and also consumed ingredients that may be internal that cause a little bit of a sensitivity or an intolerance, or maybe even an allergic reaction as well. Sometimes the causes are just unknown, and sometimes it's sometimes very challenging to find what is actually sometimes causing this burning and stinging, and sometimes we just don't know. But there are specific treatments that we can utilize that will help to calm the skin and reduce the burning and stinging. So the symptoms are, of course, the pain and the itching that come along with the stinging and the burning. It's a mild pain, of course, and it can happen on the face or the body. It's not just picking one area, it can happen anywhere. The treatment options: cool, wet compresses to soothe and immediately calm the skin. If I ever come into contact with somebody who's on the table that is complaining of any burning or stinging, or comes in the door and says, my skin is burning and stinging, I don't know what's happening or why, the first solution to immediately calm the skin would be apply some cool, wet compresses with no product on it, just water. And also anti-inflammatory and anti-irritant ingredients in your products. In Elite Organic Skincare, we have a lot of solutions that provide anti-irritating ingredients and also soothing and calming ingredients as well. Contact dermatitis causes are allergies to specific ingredients in some skincare products, and products that may have ingredients that are unknown to the client, that they even might have an allergy to an ingredient. If they don't know about it, it could possibly be an allergy. Products such as fragrance, also preservatives, especially synthetic preservatives, colors, synthetic colors and dyes, or even formaldehyde that's found in like nail polishes and other types of products. Irritating ingredients such as harsh chemicals. Maybe they come in contact with very strong cleaning products and things like that their hands or body may come in contact with, that causes this type of reaction, contact dermatitis. Impaired skin barrier increases your susceptibility to contact dermatitis. So, for example, an impaired skin barrier could be like from strong chemical peeling or over sun exposure and things like that. The symptoms to watch out for are rushes in the skin, some of that like intense redness and itching, scaling and thickening of the skin. As you can see here in the image of the contact dermatitis, you start to see some thickening of the skin in the center. The redness and the rushing surrounds some of that scaling and thickening in the middle. Can happen on the face or the body. It's not just, again, targeted towards one area of the body. It can happen anywhere, especially where the chemical comes in contact with the skin. The treatment options are patch tests to identify the allergen and irritants conducted by a doctor or a physician. You can also do patch tests to see if there is a reaction, in your treatment by just putting a dot of product on the back of the neck or the arm or on the back, somewhere where it's not as exposed. So if there is a reaction, wait about 24 hours and see if there's a reaction to the product you're using, and then you can test it that way. To see if there is a true allergy, they would consult with their physician or doctor and go through a series of allergy tests where they get different substances put on all over the place to see. Anti-inflammatory and calming ingredients are also solutions that help. Because the allergy is maybe unknown, sometimes the best thing to do is just to cool and calm the skin with cool, wet compresses, and even sometimes refer them to an antihistamine to counteract the allergic reaction and the inflammation. Until we can find out what the exact allergy and the cause of it could be, my recommendation would be to discontinue use of all products on the skin until we can find out what's happening and what's causing the allergy. Atopic dermatitis and psoriasis. The causes of eczema are chronic and long-term. It's often a hereditary disorder. It's hypersensitive skin, similar to an allergy, and it has different triggers as well. Certain irritants like dyes and soaps and fabrics or even animals. It is hereditary, so people are predisposed to the condition, genetics, predisposition of the genes. So We don't know where it comes, like who gave it to us in the family. Somewhere down the line in the family gene makeup, it's in there. We can blame it on an uncle or an aunt or a grandmother or something like that. Triggers such as the cold or dry air, sickness, colds or flus, allergens are some common causes and triggers of eczema. Psoriasis, an autoimmune disorder, and also linked to genetics as well. Psoriasis usually, has different um, types of psoriasis, not different types of psoriasis, but different symptoms of how they look. Eczema is the same. Sometimes they look a little bit more, the plaque psoriasis definitely has a lot more of the scaling and concentration of that thickened skin. And sometimes it can just look like huge red patches. Eczema can also look a little bit different in their symptoms as well. And we'll take a look at that next. It has itchiness associated with it, often extreme. There's an overall dryness associated with eczema, redness, inflammation, scratching, damage. People that have that irritated, itchy skin will start to scratch. So you'll see sometimes that the skin looks split or there's cracking and also weeping areas because of the scratching associated with the condition. Psoriasis, we were talking about the plaque-like raised areas of inflamed skin, covers with white, silvery, white, scaly skin, and sometimes, of course, associated as swelling and pain. And these types of conditions are very deforming to people who have the extreme conditions, and so emotionally causes a lot of stress. And then with the stress, the condition just becomes worse. So really, I think it's very helpful when we understand the condition, have the solutions to help them, but also with that comes, more confidence in themselves when they can actually control the condition and help keep it under control. Again, because it is a medical condition too, it is ideal to have a physician or doctor or dermatologist involved to help with treatment. Although sometimes the treatment, because there's no cure, only control as well. What happens is a lot of times treatment is linked to steroids, which steroids are actually very temporary solutions because if the use of steroids comes into play too often, and used too much, the body just builds up an immunity to it. Natural solutions and organic solutions can be very helpful and are actually very successful because sometimes, as you can see, some of the triggers are sometimes chemicals or when you come in contact with, dyes and fragrances and things like that can be triggers. So natural and organic ingredients can be really good solutions. And of course, this can happen all over the face and the body, and it happens to all ages. I think typically for eczema, you can see it in young infants, and then sometimes what happens is later in life, they kind of grow out of the eczema. But it can happen pretty much too later in life as well, especially with psoriasis. Treatment options. They also offer emollient softening creams to really help to correct the dryness and help to keep the dry and flaking and the itching under control. Anti-inflammatory and soothing ingredients that help to reduce inflammation, redness, and swelling, especially from the scratching. And sometimes retinoids are also prescribed, mainly due to the inflammation. Also, phototherapy for psoriasis has also been a common treatment, light-based laser treatments, and also pharmaceutical treatments that are systemic pharmaceutical treatments. And over 5 million Americans are actually affected with psoriasis. So it's actually a huge market in most of these forms of sensitivity that we were talking about, in those statistics with how many people in this country actually are affected by these conditions, leaves a huge market open, and it's important for you to address these concerns with the clients. So the main forms of sensitivities that we talked about today, acne, rosacea, burning and stinging, atopic dermatitis and psoriasis, contact dermatitis, all have one common symptom associated with all of these forms of sensitivities, and that is inflammation. And I think, inflammation in our bodies internally and externally, especially internally, they leave us more predisposed to sickness and illness. And also inflammation in the skin, and I think, as a whole, internally and externally, can also bring rise to the effect of premature signs of aging and also just looking devitalized and also kind of, especially with the emotional attachment to these deforming types of conditions, can also bring on the stress that also triggers them to be worse, and also increases the redness and the inflammation. So helping to get these sensitivities in control and to help our clients be able to live with them and control them is something that's going to really help positively impact them and give you a lot of success in your clients. So today we'll talk about our solution in Illegal Organic Skincare is our ultra-sensitive system. That's the core product line in Avika that we can address sensitive issues. So these products are dermatologist tested on sensitive skin. They're also safe to use in all forms of skin sensitivity, especially the main ones that we talked about today. It's a complete system for your face and body from head to toe, and they are essential oil-free products because even sensitive skin, even if it's a natural or organic product, the essential oil can be very strong. And some people who are very sensitive can also have irritated symptoms associated with essential oils. So this is completely essential oil free. There is no fragrance associated with essential oil in our products at all. So again, they're fragrance free and they're paraben and synthetic free, as all of our products in our Illegal Organic Skincare line. They're also BDIH certified products. And the BDIH certified product, of course, is our natural and organic certification for the end product that certifies that our products and our ingredients are organic. And then also, this organization oversees about 400 personal care products in the industry. Skincare is one of them. And they basically are one of the strictest organizations in the world. And they also are associated with EcoCert of France. They restrict us with, from using, petroleum and paraffin ingredients, synthetic preservatives. We're not allowed to test on animals. We're also allowed to use preservatives, though, that are natural-based, plant-based, or from an organic compound base, like a vegetable source. And that's what we use in our skincare line, are preservatives that are natural and from an organic source. So if you want to learn more about BDIH, there is a website that you can Google, and there is an English version of the BDIH website, so you can learn more about their standards and their restrictions as well. So what are the key ingredients in Ultra Sensitive System? That includes our key ingredient, yarrow. And sometimes it comes in a white-looking flower as well. It can be yellow or white. So what about the plant? Some of the descriptive common names of yarrow are also soldier's woundwort, herbal militaris, nosebleed plant, or thousand seal, but more commonly known as yarrow. And it grows wild all over. You can see it especially in the summertime, growing wild in areas of the country. I see it quite a bit in my travels around. It's just a wonderful healing and anti-inflammatory and anti-irritant herb. Birds use it for nesting, inhibits the growth of parasites, so it's anti-parasitic. It's also used as a poultice for wounds and cuts and burns and things like that. If you crush it up and hold it onto the skin where the wound is, it'll help to heal and speed up the healing process and introduce soothing for the wound as well. It's a powerful healing and soothing herb with anti-inflammatory and antiseptic properties, and also strengthens the immune system as well. It's a very stringent herb for toning and tightening the skin, and it can help improve circulation. Some of the common uses of yarrow to help heal wounds, of course, cuts and burns and abrasions, as we were just mentioning. It helps to stop bleeding from hemorrhoids and also any kind of other wounds that you may have drawn blood from. Also, it's a stitch bath for painful lower pelvic, cramp-like conditions in women. It heals UTI infection or urinary tract infection as well. And it can help with the inflammation created by those infections if you bathe in a stitch bath. The nutrients, like valeric acid, a fatty acid, salicylic acid, asparagine, which is an amino acid. Sterols are cholesterol reducing. Bioflavonoids are antioxidants, of course, and bitter substances. You also have tannins, which are polyphenols, another form of an antioxidant. And of course, the antioxidants are helping to protect our cells from toxins and pollutants that cause premature signs of aging. Coumarins are plant-derived compounds that are anti-inflammatory. Plantago, kind of an interesting looking plant. Descriptive common names are soldier's herb, healing blade. The leaves are edible, and that's of course the part of the plant that we are using. And the effects of the leaf are healing and regenerating. They're also anti-inflammatory, calming and soothing. They're mildly antibacterial, tighten the pores, hydrates the skin. And some of the common uses: heals open, fresh wounds, a snake bite or maybe insect bite remedy, especially if there's itching and pain in association. Now, if it's a poisonous snake bite, that's a little bit different. That would not be something you can probably use Plantago for. You probably have to go to get anti-venom from the physician, but it's more about the type that may be non-poisonous, of course. Heals mouth, throat, hemorrhoids, and ulcer, and of course soothes the pain. The nutrients include allantoin, a cell proliferant, acubin, an iridoid, anti-irritant, polyphenols, and also vitamins that are naturally occurring, vitamin B, C, and K. Mucilage, or a mucus, that is an anti-inflammatory. Of course, tannins, which are the polyphenols and antioxidant. Citric acids are very brightening, actually, for the skin, and protective enzymes as well. Then you have grapeseed oil as another key ingredient. The grapeseed has an ultimate superfruit, especially the grape too, has resveratrol. But within that tiny seed is a very powerful antioxidant. The cultivation since 6000 BC, it's been around a long time. So the effects of the leaf are a very powerful antioxidant booster, OPCs, oligomeric paranthocyanidins, which are even stronger antioxidant properties than vitamin C or vitamin E. 50% stronger than vitamin C and 20% stronger than vitamin E. It's very protective against signs of anti-aging. This ingredient in the product line really introduces anti-aging properties to help slow the signs of aging, addressing damaged and stressed tissues, regenerates the skin, deeply hydrates and moisturizes, and it helps to promote collagen production, but with phytoestrogens or plant estrogens that are naturally occurring inside the grapeseed. And this collagen or production is triggered by the phytoestrogen. Phytoestrogens, or estrogen, is a precursor for collagen. So the collagen building helps to tighten and elasticize and firm the skin, nourishes and softens the skin. And the common uses are for anti-aging and anti-wrinkle treatments, stretch marks, prevention of stretch marks. If they're still new stretch marks, like if they're red and not have turned white yet, then the stretch marks will actually fade if they're still new, and you can prevent them from coming about with using grapeseed oil in areas where, especially during pregnancy, where there might be a chance of getting stretch marks. The nutrients include oleic acid, linoleic acid, palmitoleic acid, stearic acid, and palmic acid. Also, these are omegas, of course. Alpha-linoleic acid equals omega-3. Oligomeric paranthocyanidins, the antioxidants that we were just talking about earlier, and vitamins C and E, beta-carotene or provitamin A, which is also considered an antioxidant, selenium, bioflavonoids, and steroids as well, plant steroids. The ultrasensitive system products include the effects of reducing inflammation, reduces redness, soothes and calms the skin, and hypoallergic of skin, of course, hypoallergenic skin. People who are, red and easy, rash easy, the kind of person who may come in and they just don't use anything on their skin because they're so sensitive that they might just use water because they are afraid to use anything. Also, the skin will regenerate the skin, or the products regenerate the skin, nourishes and softens. And the products start with our ultrasensitive system cleansing milk. The usage, of course, is to help remove makeup and impurities. It is the first step of the skincare regime, and it can be used morning and at night. It helps to break down the oils from makeup and break through dirt and impurities. It also may be used as an eye makeup remover. So you can actually pump a little bit onto a cotton pad and sweep this around the eye area to break down eye makeup. So it's a two-in-one product, and I would make sure that you mention that when you use it on the client, so that way they know that you're not using an extra product. It creates a little bit more added value to the product, especially when retailing it as well. And of course, this formulation leaves the skin feeling soft, hydrated, and silky. The ultrasensitive system toner. The usage is to spray toner onto the skin and cleanse the skin, of course, of any residue of leftover makeup or any leftover cleanser that may have been missed in the removal process. To balance the pH level of the skin, after cleansing and after exfoliating, typically it changes the pH. Our cleansers are not exactly pH balanced. So it is important in our regime to follow with a toner, and that helps to balance that natural pH back to the skin. It's to refresh, it energizes the skin, it soothes and calms the skin, and it supplies the skin with vitamins, and it charges with vitamins and nutrients. It also helps to tighten the pores as well. The ultrasensitive system exfoliating mask. The usage is two-in-one, a mild scrub and mask that's used like our cleanser, and most of our products can be used like a two-in-one. Specifically, this one's marketed as a two-in-one, so you notice in the title of the name of the product, it's an exfoliating mask. So it's a mild scrub and a mask all at one. So in our step-by-step that you'll see later, you will apply the exfoliating mask to the skin, lightly massage in circular motions, and then you will leave it to sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. If the client is actually very inflamed and very red and is wounded, I would probably just skip the scrubbing and just leave it to sit as a mask. There will be a very slight effect of exfoliation without the scrubbing. But if you want to exfoliate a little more, you can scrub. But if it's very inflamed and sensitive and wounded, I would just use it as a mask. Gently scrub to soften and remove the dead skin cells. It's also helpful to improve the skin texture and tone because it will help to slough away layers of dead skin, to promote the natural self-cleansing process of the skin. The ultrasensitive system whipped moisturizer. The usage is to use only a quarter to a third teaspoon for the face to hydrate the skin. Now, it's a very small amount mostly with our products. I always start with a very little small amount and add more if needed. To soothe and calm the skin, and also to reduce inflammation and redness, and to charge the skin with vitamins and antioxidants as well. So it boosts and enhances the skin's antioxidant ability with the antioxidants found in those herbs that we were just listing earlier, and protects the skin and also to heal. It heals and protects against the abuse of the elements. Add a drop of yarrow oil to enrich or increase the slip. This is only recommended if they have no allergy to pine oil. There is pine oil in our yarrow oil formulation. Of course, pine also has anti-inflammatory benefits. But what happens is pine is an allergen, and a common one sometimes. So the yarrow is used very rarely in this treatment, and only I would do it if it's patch tested first, just to make sure that they don't have the allergy to yarrow. It also can enhance and increase your slip of the moisturizer if it's used. The ultrasensitive system body lotion. The usage of the body lotion is to use it on clean skin to hydrate your skin, and it's to replenish the skin's moisture barrier and to soothe and calm the skin, to reduce inflammation and redness as well, to charge the skin with vitamins and antioxidants, and also to soften and hydrate the skin. The body lotion is a shea butter-based body lotion, so you get healing, protecting, and moisturizing and anti-inflammatory properties as well. It also, because of the grapeseed, improves elasticity in the skin, tightens and firms, and elasticizes as well, and helps to reduce the appearance or can prevent stretch marks as well. What are some other treatments from Elika Organic Skincare? Other calming and soothing products from Elika include the herbs rose hips. As you can see down here in the very lower hand corner of the image on the screen is the rose hip berry. They have very soothing and calming effects, but they also have a high amount of vitamin C, which also introduces an antioxidant property and also an anti-aging property, firming and tightening the skin. The rosehip formulations in our line can address acne conditions with sensitive skin and oily seborrheic-like conditions as well. Red rose petals are also very soothing and calming, have a high amount of vitamin C and a softening effect. Especially for dehydrated sensitive skin, excuse me, the rose petal family is ideal. The calendula flower, associated too in the family of the marigold flower. This is a solution for soothing and calming the skin. A lot of calming effects with calendula and also a moisturizing effect as well. Carrots are also very hydrating. There's a lot of vitamin content in carrots, especially provitamin A, beta carotene, which is an antioxidant that can build your immunity against sun defense and also has the very soothing and calming properties to address dry, sensitive skin types. Also the yarrow herb, which we just learned about earlier. The effects overall calm and soothe the skin, reduce redness in our skin, charged with vitamins A, C, and E, and also reduce rosacea symptoms overall. Of course, the formulations in the products will hydrate our skin, and hydration or dehydration can also be a cause of sensitivity as well, especially itching and stinging. So other common products will include, of course, the skin types we're addressing are sensitive, rosacea, itchy, combination acne-prone skin would be rose hips, and also dehydrated skin, rose petal products. And then the driest skin types that have very oil deficient or water deficient skin types would be our carrot and calendula products. So these products include, like our rose hip line, the rose hip toner. There's also the rose hip exfoliator that has a granule called cornmeal. That's a crushed cornmeal to exfoliate the dead skin cells and to slough them away. And also a 5% lactic acid that softens the skin and brightens the skin. And there's also some lemon, which helps with bleaching and lightening properties. So this actually can be a product that you can use on hyperpigmented skin too. And it's a very gentle form of a lactic acid. 5% is very low. And also used as a exfoliator and a mask at the same time too, where you can actually polish and mask the skin at the same time. And it's also used on the body in rough, dry spots. There's also the rosehip serum, which has soothing and calming properties, like with peppermint, has soothing properties for soothing pain, and also controlling oil. So for an oily combination acne-prone skin, this is a wonderful serum to use as well as addressing rosacea. One of the things I forgot to mention about rose hips is that they constrict dilated blood vessels. So this is also kind of one of our number one product lines to address rosacea with, because we want to tighten up those blood vessels, make sure they're not as visible. There's also the rosehip whipped moisturizer, a light, fluffy whipped moisturizer. It does have a more of an acidic pH, which helps with addressing those oily skin conditions. And there's also a body wrap as well, a very soothing body wrap that's very refreshing. And our Soothing Herbs body oil, which contains a plethora of soothing herbs like yarrow and peppermint and lavender oil and rosehip oil, just to name a few. And it's a beautiful oil that you can use for massage, you can use after shower or bath. A very fun oil that's multifunctional. You have the rose petal line. There's our rose petal cleansing milk, a soft, hydrating cleansing milk to remove face makeup, to remove eye makeup, and to remove impurities. There's also the rose petal toner that contains some of the highest moisture content in our toner line. So it's wonderful for dehydrated, sensitive skin. Also our rose petal gel mask to help to reduce symptoms of irritation and dehydration. And it's a very firming, lifting mask with anti-aging benefits as well. The rose petal whipped moisturizer, another light whipped formulation. It's a little bit thicker than the rose hip. You get a little bit more emollients in the rose petal. Still whipped light formula, so it's ideal for somewhat combination. The rose petal body wrap, which enhances a firming and a lifting and a tightening effect for the body. And the rose petal body lotion too as well has a very softening effect and also firming and lifting and tightening. Our rich carrot line, which would be the rich carrot mask, which is one of our most popular mask products, has hydrating and moisturizing and soothing and calming effects. But there's also some anti-aging and anti-wrinkle effects. There's flaxseed, which is a phytoestrogen that promotes tightening and firming and lifting, and the deeply hydrating and moisturizing effect really helps to soften the appearance of lines and wrinkles. You also have the rich carrot moisturizer, which provides a deeply hydrating and moisturizing effect. The scents are a little bit different. You have vanilla in the rich carrot and citronella grass oil in the moisturizer, which gives them a much different aromatherapeutic benefit. One smells very sweet, where the other one smells more spicy or herbaceous. There's also the rich carrot body wrap, which is also a very soothing treatment for sensitive skin on the body and very deeply moisturizing and hydrating, especially if someone's been overexposed in the sun. And you can also use it as a pre-sun treatment because of the beta carotene, the rich beta carotene content from carrots protects the skin from UV radiation. Saponaria and Lanaria massage cream. It's a professional massage cream used by the esthetician during the massage, generally indicated to help disencrustate the skin and also to soften impaction, to open the pores. But there's also yarrow in the Saponaria and Lanaria massage cream to provide a soothing and a calming effect. So we typically use this in our treatments for pre-extraction, as a pre-extraction tool, and you can steam on top of it to increase its effects. But what you can also do in a sensitive skin treatment when you're not using steam is use it because it has soothing and calming and anti-inflammatory benefits from the yarrow. Now we also have the calendula line. The calendula oil, which is a very rich oil. The aromatherapeutic benefits are wonderful. It also has orange oil. The vitamin content is very high, and the soothing and calming benefits are really wonderful. It's really great to treat eczema and also cradle cap in infants. We also have the linden and marigold rejuvenating treatment. Oh my gosh, this is a wonderful balm that helps to sort of protect and hydrate the skin, deeply moisturizes, and helps to correct irritated, inflamed, itchy, sensitive skin types. You can use this for eczema and also any type of irritated burn on the skin. It's very, very soothing. You have also the Cooling Mint Lip Balm. The mint lip balm soothes and cools dry, irritated, cracked lips, people who might be biting their lips, or even like people who spend a lot of time outdoors, especially athletes, runners, skiers, anything that has to do with the outdoor elements and their extreme elements. The Cooling Mint Lip Balm is great to use, and also the Linden and Calendula Moisturizer for that too as well. I use it for a foot and hand balm cream as well. It's a wonderful, deeply moisturizing product, especially for calluses on the feet. Okay, so thank you so much for paying attention to the PowerPoint presentation. We're going to move into the live demonstration of the ultrasensitive system facial. I'm just going to pause the webinar for a moment while I get the model prepared and set up the webcam. So just give me about a few minutes to do this, and we'll be right back. Just one moment, and here we go. All right, so we're about to start our demonstration of the Eco Organic Skincare Ultra Sensitive System Facial. Hi, everybody. So we're going to start with a cleansing step, and we're going to use, of course, the first product we talked about was the Ultra Sensitive System Cleansing Milk. This can be used for your facial cleanser. It can also be used as your eye makeup remover. The first step, too, can be used to do the eye makeup removal process. And what I would do is take a round cotton pad, and you want to have some applicators, a bowl of water, and also you want to have some round pads, and also you want to have some applicator sticks as well that will help dispense the products sanitarily on the client. So just pump a cleanser onto the round cotton pad, And go ahead and close the eyes, and then you're going to just gently move the cleanser with the cotton that's on the cotton pad in circular motions underneath the eye, over the brow bone, over the upper eyelid area, and then down the lashes, and skim gently back and forth across the lashes to remove the mascara. Once complete on one eye, you can open up your cotton pad and use the other side, the clean side, pump another pump of your cleanser onto the cotton pad, and perform the same cleansing movements on the other eye. Work in circular motions inward around the eye, down the lashes, and skim across the lashes. And it removes it thoroughly and very quickly, actually. Now let's cleanse the skin to remove the makeup. And again, we'll use the same cleanser, the ultra-sensitive system cleansing melt. Pump about 2 to 3 pumps of cleanser in your hand, and you don't need to emulsify with water, and you don't need to wet the face. The creamy texture and the creamy formulation of the cleanser will break through the makeup on its own, and it will spread on the skin very easily, so there's really no need to dilute the product. And if you find that the client is dehydrated and the product just disappears on the skin right away, and they tend to just drink and soak it in because of the dehydration, you can add a few more, add a little bit of water, and maybe add another pump of cleanser. And it's just soaking in a little bit, so I am going to use a little bit more water, a little bit of cleanser, and cleanse for about a minute. Work in circular motions. Make sure you clean off the makeup on all areas of the face, the neck, the chin, the upper and lower lip, along the sides of the nose. Also make sure that you clean the cheeks, the forehead, and around the eye area, which we did with the first step in the cleansing the eye makeup. Once you've finished and completed the cleansing step, then you're just going to remove a hot towel from the cavity. If they're too warm for your client's skin sensitivity, you can use cool towels, or you can also just kind of wave it down until it gets down to a cool room temperature. But if their skin is not as sensitive or inflamed, and they don't really have any conditions triggered by heat, then it's okay. But if it's a condition triggered by heat, I would recommend that you use a cool room temperature or tepid temperature type of a towel. Or cool sponges could be another option as well. Now we're going to do a second cleanse, a double cleanse, to ensure all of the makeup and impurities are removed. So we're just going to do one more cleanse. Now this treatment protocol is a 45-minute treatment. Normally our facials are about an hour, 60-minute, or we also have 90 minutes. Because of the type of skin that you will be working on, the 45-minute facial will be a little bit more ideal as far as, the time frame is a little shorter, so you're not spending so much time touching and rubbing the skin, which I think is a little bit more ideal, especially to begin with. um, before you really get the sensitive symptoms under control. Then you can start to work on the client a little bit longer as you get their issues under control. But, typically sometimes, depending on lifestyle, climate, the skin changes. And with that, those sensitivities can fluctuate. So depending on the condition of the skin. But this is also just a great way to start it, is at that 45-minute time frame, so it's not too stimulating. And we're going to remove this cleanser. Clean off the towel. Yeah, so if you use this, a cool compress to remove the product, especially with the conditions that we were talking about earlier, like the burning and the stinging kind of clients that are kind of prone to redness and rashes very easily, if you're using cooler towels, that you're kind of doing an immediate treatment for, with the cool, wet compressing. Such a, very effective treatment that will immediately help to start reduce those symptoms. Okay, so after the two cleansing steps, the first cleanser, using the same product, but we're doing a double cleanse, we'll do the application of the Ultra Sensitive System Toner, which is in a 4.2 ounce bottle. The cleanser is in the 8.4, so the 2 ounces is the smaller, and it is the toner size product. And of course, this is to help balance the pH after the cleansing, refreshes the skin, and charges the skin with vitamins. Now, because it's in a spray dispensing type of a product bottle, you can actually simply mist the skin, which is very soothing and refreshing. Cover your hand over the eyes, instruct the client to keep the mouth closed because we are going to be spraying a toner onto the client. We don't want them to have to ingest it if they don't want to, although it's organic, so it wouldn't harm them. So what I do is I hold the bottle straight up and down behind the client, spritz the bottle once or twice, that's all that's needed, and then simply press it in with your hands. What you can also do is a simple splash, and it's a hydrating splash. Cup your hand, spray one pump of toner into the hand, and then press that into the skin. This feels very soothing. It's very calming to use your hands to apply the toner. And of course, you get actually a more concentrated application. Or if there is a lot of makeup on the skin because the client could be coming in trying to cover up their condition, then and you need a deeper removal, deeper cleanse, and maybe the cleanser to ensure that the cleanser has removed all the product, you can use 4x4 aesthetic wipes and then spray your toner onto the cotton pad, a couple sprays on each pad, and then sweep the compresses across the skin and hand over hand movements. In the smaller areas of the face, you simply just fold your compresses. Fold it again to go up the sides of the nose. So now they're small squares, so you can go around the eye area very easily. And stop at the temples and lift off. Okay, so after the toning step, we're ready to do our exfoliation. So we're going to be using the Ultra Sensitive System Exfoliating Mask. And this one is a retail size. It's our 4.2 ounce. It is also available in professional sizes in the jars, a 4.2 ounce size jar and also an 8.4 ounce professional size. The larger of the sizes, the better value, of course, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of these treatments or if you have a lot of clients with these types of conditions. You probably want to keep more of this on hand or a larger professional size bottle. So we're going to use about a teaspoon amount. So I'm just going to measure about a teaspoon. Now, my model Claire, she does not have extreme sensitivities. So we'll be able to do some effleurage massage, working this product in circular motions. She is slightly sensitive, so this is a great facial for her. But because she doesn't have too much inflammation happening on the skin, the exfoliation with the massage of the sloughing from the crushed cornmeal will be very effective. This is a very nice, creamy texture of a product that will actually spread on very easily, and you'll be able to do your polishing very easily because the consistency is pretty soft. A lot softer than the rosehip exfoliator. The rosehip exfoliator is a little bit thick, so sometimes if you're going to be using that exfoliator in your treatments, I would maybe just add a little bit of a few drops of the dilution of water to it to help spread it out. Spread this all over the face and the chin. I wouldn't do too much rubbing on the neck area because the neck area tends to get blotchy and red more easily than the face does. But again, if there is extreme inflammation, sensitivity, and wounds on the skin, you might want to skip the scrubbing and then go right into just compressing and doing a mask, which we'll do next after we do the physical exfoliation. I'm moving my fingers back to back, side to side, or front to back, I'm sorry, and side to side. Starting on the underneath the chin, on top of the mandible, under the chin, on top of the lip, on the cheeks, and then up the sides of the nose. You can do circular movements as well. For me, in my opinion, I like to move side to side because I get a little bit more larger range. I make sure that I'm not skipping any areas. And the product moves easier working side to side rather than in circles. And then I'm not tugging on the skin when I work in circles. So instead, working side to side will prevent that from happening. Now, just for about a minute or two, you don't have to sit here for the whole 5 or 10 minutes doing this. Again, because we're working on sensitive skin, you may not be doing too much of the scrub or the polish. You do have the benefits of, again, the key ingredients, the yarrow, plantago, and also the grapeseed. The anti-aging and antioxidant benefits of the grapeseed, and the deeply moisturizing benefits of the grapeseed as well. Now, as we finish up the polish, now another tip that you can do, if this is appropriate for that type of sensitive skin, is you can do clarisonic brushing. I don't know if you would do that during this facial, but on a client that it's appropriate for, it is also okay to do with that. And also the first cleanser too, the ultra-sensitive system cleansing milk, you can use the polishing brushes for that as well too. Okay, so I'm going to complete the polishing, and next I'm going to put a moistened compress over this mask. What this will do is it'll allow the nutrients in the mask to stay active longer on the skin as it stays moist with a moistened compress. It'll also allow deeper penetration and absorption of the product into the skin. And the cool, wet compresses are going to, again, soothe and calm irritated, sensitive skin conditions. So I'm taking 2 4x4s, or you can use a pre-cut gauze mask as well. That works as well. But more commonly, I think most estheticians have the aesthetic wipes on hand already. So we're just going to stretch it out. When it gets moist, it has really nice flexibility. It'll stretch really easily for you. Apply that to the chin and the neck. You can also do the décolleté area if there's symptoms in that area as well. You just have to use a little bit more product and another compress. Then we're going to do the same thing above the nose, on the nose and on the forehead. Okay. Once that's on the skin, one of my tips in this facial is to take one of the cooling globes that are commonly used in soothing and calming treatments. You can chill this in a bowl of ice, or you can also use it on its own. If it's in a temperature room that stays cool, these will stay colder. But what I would do is I'd have it on a bowl of ice, and then for about the remainder of the affecting period, simply roll this product or roll the globe over the skin back and forth. There's a company called Magic Globe that makes these, and they're very inexpensive, but they're really handy, and they do come in different sizes as well. So you can do an eye treatment with a smaller size. I would start rolling this back and forth on the neck, on the chin and the mandible. The cooling sensation will help to relieve pain, soothe and calm the skin, reduce redness, irritation, swelling, and itching. Go over the nose and the sides of the nose. And on top of the forehead as well. And you can repeat the pass a few times or if necessary. I usually repeat it a couple of times. And then, of course, from the body heat, the globe will get a little bit warmer as you're working with it. So it's not necessary to use it the whole time, because at the end of the affecting period, what you can do is a arm and hand massage with the ultrasensitive system body lotion. And that's what we'll do next. Okay, so you'll let the product sit on the skin with the compress still on, and then I'm going to use the ultrasensitive system body lotion, and we're going to do a hand and arm massage while the mask sits for the remaining period. Comes in an 8.4 ounce bottle, but it also comes in a 33.8 ounce, bottle for back bar for professional size. So it does come in two sizes, the ultrasensitive system body lotion. And the larger bottles, of course, are best if you're going to be doing a lot of these treatments. You get a little bit more value. And just take about 5 minutes to do a really nice rub down on the arms, the upper arm, and also on the forearm, and in the hands and the fingers. This is de-stressing. It promotes anti-stress, especially since some of the conditions that we were talking about, sometimes stress is a trigger. So doing a really nice massage for the client enhances that anti-stress, promotes the de-stressing. There's a lot of stress that's held in the forearms and also in the shoulders and the neck. So I always like to do a shoulder and neck massage while I'm doing the hand and arm massage as well. And I'm going to just pull her arm over her torso, and I'm going to come up the back of the neck and around the trapezius muscles, and then around the scapula area as well. You may have to push the client a little bit to get underneath the scapula, but pulling the arm over the torso helps, so you can reach that area a little better. You can do some knuckling at the trapezius muscle as well. Just massaging the wrists, the hands, and doing the fingers now. You'll also get the benefits again from the body lotion of firming and tightening and elasticizing the skin with the grapeseed oil ingredient. So it has some anti-aging properties. And remember, you can use grapeseed oil and this type of a lotion to prevent stretch marks, especially for pregnancy. And the arm and hand massage with some effleurage. I'm stretching the neck and the trapezius by pulling the arm towards her feet. Feels good. It's a nice way to end your massage. Okay, and then we're going to massage the other side. Pull the arm out, and then do about 4 to 5 pumps of lotion to start. Now, you notice I haven't used steam in this facial yet, and I probably wouldn't suggest to use steam during this type of a treatment on the skin sensitivities because heat can be a trigger for most of the conditions that we addressed today. So in my recommendation, omit the steam throughout the facial. And I guess if it's only necessary, you use the steam. The client may be more in demand of it because they're used to it and want that experience. They may have had a friend say, oh, the steaming is the best part of the facial. Well, you would be the one to educate them on why the steam is omitted during these types of treatments and let them know that it is actually a triggering factor that causes their condition. So make sure you mention that, and if they still persist, then you might want to just make sure that they sign a consent form first. Massaging the forearm now. And down to the wrist and the hands. Massaging the fingers, digits. Also, this could be a great treatment if someone has some sensitivities due to the elements, the environmental um, aggressors, too much sun, too much wind, and it might be a temporary sensitivity, but this can be a really great solution for that type of client that may come in, especially if you are an esthetician at a resort spa and you're in a warmer climate where people are out at the pool or the beachside resort. These are great treatments to use post-sun because they might come back very dry, irritated, and inflamed from being out in too much sun, especially at ski resorts too. Or if they've been there and they come back and they want a facial and they need you to help and fix it. All right. So we're all done with our hand and arm massage. At this is the point when you would remove the mask. Start by taking off the compresses, starting at the forehead, moving down towards the nose and parallel to the body so you're not pulling up and pulling the skin up and out, and just in case if it has dried a little bit. But it's moist, so the compresses are moist, so you shouldn't have that issue. But it just feels better. Roll it down towards the neck. And you can see that the skin has really absorbed a lot of that product, which is great. You want to see that penetration because we know that she's soaked up a lot of the nutrients and the antioxidants. Again, you can use the cool towels. Now, if you have cold steam, you can steam on top of the mask with cold steam, or you can do cold steam during the next step, which would be our very simple, gentle massage that we're going to do next with the Saponaria and Lunaria massage cream. I would tone next after removing the mask. Once we've removed the mask, we're going to do a toner step to help to remove residue of the product, especially because this product has some granules. It'll be more effective removal doing a toner step, and then also to balance the pH. Okay, so next I'm going to use the toner. I'm going to spray it on cotton pads. So this way, I actually get a much effective removal with using the pad because it'll pick up some of those granules that are left over and might have been missed during that removal step. Very good. Okay, so we're going to use the Saponaria and Lanaria massage cream. And I'm going to take out just about, this is the Saponaria and Lanaria massage cream, and it has a very light whipped consistency. And Saponaria and Lanaria are two herbs that are working together to break down the impaction and impurities in the skin. So we start with about a teaspoon. And we're going to lightly and gently massage this into the skin. Now, if there is any extractions to do, you can. But remember, extractions can cause inflammation and redness. So it's probably best to omit the extractions unless, of course, they demand them. And that's a different story. And again, I would have them sign a consent before doing that. Okay, we're just going to start with some effleurage on the shoulders and the neck. 3 circles I'm working out, coming up the neck, stopping on the temples, and doing some relaxing circles on the temples. Crossing over under the chin and back down. We'll repeat that 3 times. Then with your thumbs, massage at the trapezius muscle, starting at the inward by the neck and then out towards the shoulders. And then you can do swimming strokes, hand over hand, alternating. Starting on the décolleté, around the shoulder and up the back of the neck. I'm going to gently turn her head to the side and work on one side of the shoulder. Adjust your pressure to the comfort of the client and also the sensitivity of the skin. I'm doing a knuckle and grab at the trapezius muscle. You can also use your knuckles on the back of the neck, sliding out and back up towards the ear. And with another effleurage stroke around the shoulder. And then rotate the head to center and then up to the other side. Again, this is also going to help and promote de-stressing. If you feel like the product does start to um, pull and drag, you can add a few drops of water on your hand and continue with the massage. The cool hands also help with um, soothing and calming the skin as well. Now, I would concentrate your facial massage on more effleurage massage, not on deep kneading or petrissage or not a lot of tapping. Longer, softer, soothing strokes is the best type of massage to do on a sensitive skin client. So I'm going to start with some effleurage strokes to go along the décolleté, shoulders and neck and the face. Put them out here. Okay, sorry about that delay, guys. All right, so just don't want another interruption. I just thought better to turn it off and get interrupted again. Okay, and we're going to continue on the other side. I'm going to work on the cheeks, just doing some circles with my heels of my hand and long upward strokes with 3 inward circles on the cheeks. And then you can do some figure eights over and under the mouth, under the chin, but then the strokes, you would pull the fingers towards the corner of the mouth, on the upper and lower lip, and figure eight under the chin. And then I'm going to do some circles on the nose, to the forehead, and then do eye movements. Semicircles under the eye and around the eye area. And I'm going to do some piano movements, which are part of the eye movements, but doing a little bit of trigger point, pressure points along the zygomatic arch here. You can also opt for a manual lymphatic drainage massage as well. That's also a great massage to do that doesn't cause too much stimulation and also promotes detoxification. And also the pressure point massage too as well. Those are other options besides doing effleurage massage or both. All right, we're going to end the massage at the temples. I'm going to just remove the massage cream next. Again, you can do this with, again, cool towels or cool sponges. Okay, and we'll end the facial with our hydration step, and that's to apply eye cream and then moisturizer. We don't really have a particular serum for this line, not yet anyway. The reason is because for this particular facial, we're doing more of an ultra-sensitive system treatment for hypoallergenic skin, and they could have possibly allergies to the essential oils in the eye cream. I'm sorry, in the serum. And it could be for the eye cream as well. So you have to be sure that the ingredients, whether age defense or St. John's wort, that there isn't an allergy to those ingredients as well. You have elderberry and blackcurrant and cantaloupe in the age defense. That would be my choice because there's not as many botanical ingredients, and the essential oil ingredient listing is very, very low in the age defense. And it's for all age groups too. And then you would apply the Ultra Sensitive System Whipped Moisturizer all over the face and the neck. Then you will finish the facial with that hydration step. And then what we're also going to apply is another product you can add to your list of products in this treatment is also the cooling mint lip balm. And again, if that is a treatment that they could have an allergy to because of the essential oils in the cooling mint lip balm, you would want to make sure or do a test patch or just go through a list of allergies in the consultation. Another thing that you want to make sure to do is to identify the form of skin sensitivity that you're seeing on the skin, going through with them a list of questions and having them provide any medical history if they're seeking it out, the advice of dermatologists or being treated by a dermatologist or have a diagnosis of what the condition would be. Identifying that is key to choosing the proper treatment for the client. And if you're not sure, this is a safe facial to do. It's also a great 911 treatment to do because they have healing and soothing benefits that heal wounds and soothe pain. There's anti-irritants in this facial. So it's a really easy facial to provide to clients if you're really not sure what to use or what they may be allergic to. The lack of allergens in this product line is going to be something that will really help you come up with a perfect solution. And recommend the home care products as well for the client that coincide with the facial, the products that we use today in treatment, and then suggest to them how often to come in. For someone as sensitive as they would be for this type, for the type of client that's coming in for this kind of a facial, would not come in on a weekly basis. It'd probably be more of a monthly basis. And of course, using the products on a daily supports the effects of the facial, and it's proper home care. Of course, this type of product is the proper home care for them to use at home. So these are the products I would go through how to use them in what order, give them the key ingredients, features, and benefits, and then how often to use it as well. And then, of course, make sure that you rebook them for their next facial. All right, so we're all finished with our treatment today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to close out the webinar, and if you guys have any questions about the products or the treatment, you can get a hold of me and also customer service at customerservice@safebaylet.com. And you can also call our 1-800 number, which is 888-290-6238. You hit 1 for customer service, and then you also can get forwarded to my extension as well. The emails, too, are great ways to contact us, so that way we can answer, if there's not a lot of time to talk on the phone, we can answer with a quick email back to your questions. And this, again, is a recorded webinar, so we will be posting it with the URL that you can review it, or if you have anybody else that couldn't come today at your location, they will be able to download the webinar with the URL link. Okay, thank you so much, and I appreciate your attendance, and we'll see you next time.